Testing, testing, testing. What up, what up? Have to be quiet tonight. Have to be quiet. Got the roommates back now, so no, I'm gonna attempt not to yell on the stream tonight. AJS, what up, what up? Praxis, good to see you. Praxis, you're always here for the late night streams. Galicio, good to see you. Jared Johnson, Flocker, XRP Legend, Lucky Simba. My old dog's name was Simba. There we go. Jared Johnson, Sir Mass, XRP Legend. How's everyone doing tonight? DRM man, good to see you. Good to see you. Blues Batteries 2020 MC. What up? What up? Oh, we're popping off fast, guys. We already got 85 people in here. You love to see that. You love to see that. I didn't know how I was going to gauge demand tonight for a stream, but we're popping off nice and early. Make sure to drop a like on the stream. Drop a like on the stream for the late night effort. You just on X? Oh yeah, I'm always on X. I'm on X way too much. You could ask me, were you just on X at any point throughout the day? And the answer is yes. It's scary. Let's see what we got. Linda, good to see you, Linda. Good to see you. Jamie, Johnny Jackson, Tommy Ford, Flocker, Stan Q. Daniel, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I was hoping I'd see you, Daniel. Chris Powell, Lewis. You're becoming a legend. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. Appreciate you being here, man. Bambo says he has to stop paying taxes. Well, get those taxes paid. Get those taxes paid. Focus on the income and just... You'll make it, Bambo. You'll make it. I believe in you. Why didn't XLM get paid off the stablecoin? I don't know what you mean by that. I need some more. Do I have vet? No, I don't have vet. I don't have anything against the project. It's probably a great project. I just only have so much money, you know. You can only pick so many winners. Vet seems like a good project to me, but you know, you can't spread yourself too thin. You got to kind of pick a core group that you like and ride with it, in my opinion. You know, you got to do what's best for you, but I'm not looking to hold 35 to 50 projects. There's only so many I can pick from. Maybe one day I'll be able to spread myself a little thinner, get into 50 projects, but right now the capital's just not there for that. No problem, Bambo, no problem. Digital Advertising Solutions, hello from Cornerbrook. I don't know where Cornerbrook is. Michael, you're the man. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Really appreciate that, man. Love doing the live streams, mostly because you guys make them so much fun. So keep bringing that alpha, man, and I'll keep the live streams coming. Oh, I'm 100% committed to the community. I love this community. I completely frown on the XRP community slander talk. I think this is the best community out there by far. Johnny, I don't get into price targets in cycles because it's like in the short term, XRP, right, is a terrible thing to get into price targets with based on time, because it doesn't move forever and then it rips face higher than anyone expected. So look, I'd throw a number out there and there's 100% chance I'm wrong. No one's price target's going to be right. It's like getting a perfect bracket, right? No one gets a perfect bracket. Maybe one person's going to get it. Look, I think a safe price target for XRP is whatever Bitcoin does plus a percentage of beta over that. Beta is just volatility, so XRP is typically more volatile than Bitcoin. So you take whatever Bitcoin returns to the cycle high, you throw a little beta on that for XRP's price performance, and then boom, you have a safe price prediction for XRP. Look, you can add all kinds of alpha on top of that based on what you think XRP can achieve in terms of utility. Bitcoin doesn't have that same utility factor. So you can always add kind of a bullish thesis on top of the base case of essentially doing what Bitcoin's going to do with some beta on top of that. If Bitcoin does a 10x, I would expect XRP to at least do that. That's how I look at it. Murdoch. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Murdoch. I got to be quiet tonight. I got to be quiet. So I'm not less excited to see you guys. I just can't yell. Iran, Israel, Black Swan. I hope not. I hope not. Dirt Nap, good to see you, man. Love to see you, Dirt Nap. These are exciting times. XRP will rise out of the economic disaster. It's right around the corner. Yeah, I don't know if I believe in the economic disaster. We'll see. We'll see. Guys, everyone's asking what website this is. This is 3xrp.dev. I'll post it in the chat, and I think I can even pin it. I can pin it. Look at that. There's the website. I'll take you guys through a series of let's do that. Let's do a little website tour. I'll show off some websites to you guys. Show you what I like to check out on a daily basis, and then maybe you can add them to your favorites bar. This is one of them. There's not too much to really explain here. I mean, there's a lot going on here, but I don't really jump into it in depth too much. This is just pretty much XRP transactions happening all around the world. And I think the most exciting thing you can kind of take away from this is just the velocity of money XRP adds to the system. It's insane to think that this technology is available today for major financial institutions all over the world, and it's not being utilized as much as it could, essentially because of regulators. So that's one I like a lot. Another one I want to pull up for you guys real quick. I wish I could just seamlessly transfer from page to page, but I guess we'll grind it out like this. This is XP Market. Oh, Maxis Group. Thank you. Let me jump into this question real quick before we get into the next website. Is that SEC Ripple meeting happening tomorrow? So, Praxis, a little bit of an unfortunate situation here. The judge forgot to clear her calendar, so I don't blame anyone for believing that was a real event, but it was a real event, but she forgot to clear her calendar. So those settlement discussions actually pertained to the charges that were dropped against Brad and Chris. Now, it was very believable to think that was real because we had an actual settlement meeting that happened last week. And on top of that, it did come from a real source. It was from her calendar. It was just never cleared off. So there's no settlement discussion happening tomorrow. To be honest, guys, a settlement could happen at any given moment. Jeremy Hogan has said he settled cases in the back room of a courthouse. So settlement can happen at any minute if it's going to happen. I wouldn't hold out hope of seeing a settlement. I think it's the most bullish case scenario, but I'm skeptical if that's going to happen. The good news is regardless, the case is going to be over from a documentation standpoint in less than 30 days, maybe 35 days. And then after that, it's just waiting for Judge Torres to rule. So if there was ever a time where settlement didn't really feel like it's as bullish as it used to be, it's now, because it doesn't really take off much time in the long run. This is XP Markets. This is looking at the automated market maker filling up. You can take a look at liquidity right here and how much XRP is actually being locked up. We can see the number one pool almost has 1 million XRP in it. That's only after 3.5 days. And then you have another automated market maker pool, Sologenic, with 400,000 XRP. Ultimately, I think the vision for this is to be able to peg different currencies against each other and essentially create automated market maker pools of institutionalized assets. So you're going to have like Bank of America coin, JP Morgan coin, a situation like that. Now, obviously, those assets are not issued here yet. That's a very bullish case scenario where you saw different countries, governments issuing tokens in this automated market maker and essentially creating pools against those currencies to create a seamless transfer from one currency to another. That's how I see these automated market makers playing out over the long run. But right now we're just seeing the early stages of retail adoption, and it's cool to see what it is already doing to XRP. Yep, Ed, you're right. Over 2 million XRP is already locked up. I was actually talking to the guy from XP Markets, and he threw out just a back of the napkin prediction. Nothing that I know how much it was analyzed, but his guess was that we'd see close to 20 million XRP in these automated market makers at the end of a month to 2 month period, which is very, very exciting to think about. Over the long run, I tweeted out that I wouldn't be surprised if we got to a situation where these things were doing 5% of XRP's total supply in an automated market maker. That would be really, really interesting and would lock up a very large portion of XRP. It's also important to know that the automated market maker also burns XRP. So every single transaction burns some XRP. It takes 2 XRP actually to create an automated market maker pool. So this is a deflationary tool on the XRP ledger system. It's one of the things that you don't really think about. Like the XRP ledger is a deflationary cryptocurrency network with all the FUD about Ripple selling XRP, blah, 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 blah. People forget that it has one of the best tokenomic systems out there over the long term for building a network. A deflationary currency, a deflationary liquidity source is something that adds kind of an interesting layer to XRP that I think a lot of people sleep on. Let's see what else we got. How much needed to create a supply shock that would move price? Ed, that's a hard question to answer because right now it would have to be a lot larger than in the future. That's based on a lot of things, and you have to go down to what you believe of Ripple's escrow. Do you believe there's institutions who are going to be buying large portions of Ripple's escrow, or do you think all of Ripple's escrow is eventually going to come on to the public market in one way or another? It's a hard question to answer without actually knowing what Ripple has in place behind the scenes. But right now, there's a lot of XRP still available. So the automated market maker, if it was going to chew up the escrow, would need a lot more liquidity in it to make a major difference. Now, if the theory is that the escrow already does have some kind of plan for it, not all of it, right? But if institutions had some kind of options contract on portions of it, then you could see much smaller differences in the XRP being eaten up by the automated market maker, making a significant difference. Silver Days, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Love to have you here. 100 million XRP. Ed, to be completely honest with you, I'm just going to admit here, I have no idea what that number would be. That's a hard calculation. I don't even know if someone like David Schwartz would be able to accurately answer that question. I mean, it's just guessing at the end of the day. You never know what's going to happen with the market dynamics. Anything could happen that could completely change the equation. You could have, think of this scenario. Think of in a crazy, unrealistic scenario, Ripple lost the keys to the escrow, and then boom, 50 billion was removed from the circulating supply. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff could happen that could dramatically change the equation. And I know that's highly unrealistic, but if you're talking over the course of any period of time, there's just so many variables coming into play. It's really hard to nail down any number. I saw someone was trying to grind a calculation earlier today on how much XRP was actually held in wallets by long-term holders versus how much XRP was on exchanges liquid for trading. I would love to see an answer on that. And that's kind of one of the unfortunate things about where AI stands today. These are the questions that AI is going to be able to answer very firmly in the future. But right now, you don't get anything on that. So, Brian, good to see you. Good to see you, man. Love to have you here, guys. Also, we have 588 people in here. That's sneaky, a great number for a late night stream on a random Monday. If you could, please drop a like on the stream. That's going to be really helpful. Yeah, Galicio beat me to it. It's going to help more and more people see the stream, get new people in here, and we always love getting new people. If we can educate people on XRP, if we can educate people on digital assets in general, I mean, that's a huge win of any single stream. So the goal of every single stream for me, right, is to have a couple of people kind of lurking in the background, right? The people who don't contribute to the chat, but at least maybe have their eyes opened or their mind open to like the power of digital assets over the long term, and specifically, right, a lot of us, why we think XRP is going to be a significant asset in this next generation financial system we're headed into. So drop a like for that, I guess. Mickle, if you show me the money, I'll show you some. Oh, Daniel, man, I'd love to, but my roommates are sleeping, so I'll give you this. Show me the money. That's the best I can give you right now, Daniel, without one of my roommates coming in here and yelling at me. So I hope you appreciate that. That's the most I can give you. Not too late on the West Coast. Thanks for streaming, Mickle. Yeah, it's a little late on the East Coast, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. All right, let me think of another website. I don't want to show you guys Fiat Leak. You guys know all about Fiat Leak, right? We don't have to go to Fiat Leak. Oh, this is another cool little feature here. It has the NFT rankings, NFT trends, which is pretty cool. There's some cool stats on this website if you ever want to click around. I really like what they did with these stats. All-time NFT volume, for 42 million. That's kind of crazy. I know that's not a lot compared to chains like Ethereum and Solana, but it's still kind of more than I expected. 6 million NFTs minted. Very cool. Very cool. Oh man, AULES. Yeah, guys, this is a great question. Have you found an option for non-accredited investors to buy shares of Ripple before they go public? Yes, I have. There's two ways you can do it. One is going to be going on to Link2, and sometimes Link2 has deals where you can purchase shares of Ripple as a non-accredited investor. I don't know when specifically they run that. I don't know how they choose when that's going to be the sale. I've seen shares of Ripple on Link2 that you need to be accredited for, and I've seen shares on Link2 that you don't need to be accredited for. So I don't know how Link2 specifically does that. I also know that Jake Claver can get deals of Ripple stock and get some of that stock pre-allocated to you in a way where you can get that amount of shares when Ripple ultimately goes public. Now, I don't know if he has any deals lined up at the moment. That would have to be a conversation you have with him. You have to pay to join the group, so he's got some things. There's some things that would have to fall into place for it to work. But those are the only two scenarios I know you can get Ripple stock without being an accredited investor. So a little plug for Jake there. For full transparency, I have gone through that process with Jake. Before I was an accredited investor. Now I am an accredited investor. I'm not an accredited investor because I have the money to be. I wish that was why I was an accredited investor. I'm an accredited investor because a couple of weeks ago now, I passed my Series 65. So I passed my Series 65 and I'm an accredited investor. So I guess that's your third option. Let me tell you that exam is a tough one to pass. I worked my butt off to do it, but yeah, I would be open to if anyone here wants to pass their Series 65 and thinks they can legitimately take it on, I would be open to scheduling some kind of call. And obviously there would have to be some charge for the call because it's a lot of information I'd have to hand over to you. But I would help you. I would help you grind. I would help you grind out what you need to get done to pass that exam, because it does take someone to kind of guide you through the process a little bit in telling you what you need to look at. And then once you have all that collection of information to look at, it's possible, but it's not something that is necessarily a fun process for me, right? So I just want to throw that out there. It is useful. Daniel, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Daniel said, freaking epic. Who's going to match me? Love you, brother. Glad to have you for a while. Would have lost my shit if you didn't start streaming. Much love, Daniel, man. Thank you so much. You're an OG of the channel. You know how much we appreciate you here. And yeah, Daniel, I'm just glad, man, that we got to go through this entire ride together. I kind of did feel I felt definitely that streaming has given me a very cool interaction with a lot of you guys and really let me I get to know you guys a little bit more on a personal level. And Daniel, you've been here the entire time, so thank you so much for your support, man. You're absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to see you in Vegas. Oh, very cool, Ed. Let's see what Ed's got. And sorry, Tony. Let me get to you in a minute. 3 estimation in the actual number of XRP tokens required to create a supply shock. Increase the price may vary depending on the factors mentioned earlier. Addition, this gives speculative guess. Oh, you sent me, Ed? Okay. I'll check those out when I get a chance. Here's a good question for you. I do not want World War III, but do you think it would actually help crypto because it build tension on the dollar? Yeah, sorry for that. I actually talked about that on my stream tonight. I mean, my video tonight. It would 100% would be good for cryptocurrency, not any kind of nuclear war. That would be bad for everything, right? But division in the world is good for cryptocurrencies because the bearish case for XRP was always that countries just got along. Everyone said, "Oh, we love the United States. Let's just use the U.S. dollar," right? That would be the worst case scenario for XRP if everyone just decided that they're perfectly happy using the dollar. The bullish case for cryptocurrencies is that you need a decentralized system because nations don't trust each other. You need a decentralized system essentially to be a level playing field for everyone to interact with one another, businesses, governments, and people. And if everyone was just in kumbaya, you wouldn't need decentralized systems because everyone would trust a centralized party. So it is good in a sense, political division and essentially lack of trust in the system is all good for cryptocurrencies because cryptocurrencies are an opt-out of the system. It is good, but it's one of those things, right? It's tough to tackle because I don't think you necessarily need war to get us to that point. I think you could very easily just have, I don't know, just a lack of trust regardless of war. So is war necessarily good? Well, it's not war. It's just political division. So that's the most diplomatic answer I can give you on that. Ray Ramirez, man, thank you so much, dude. Thank you. You guys are absolutely incredible. Ray said, Mikkel, I like how you make the community feel that you care about the followers and viewers. I really appreciate that compassion, man. Ray, it's because like I really do care about all of you. You guys are all incredible. It's so cool to be on this journey with all of you, and I just appreciate that we were able to kind of build up a lot of this in a bear market, right? Where it wasn't a lot of the you get to know people and you get to really see the real side of people, when they're pushed to their limits a little bit, when they're stressed, when you kind of go on a real journey and a real battle with people. And I feel like a lot of you on this channel, that's kind of what we've gone through. And it's going to make it really cool, right? When we get to reap the fruits of kind of all the work we've put in. And I get to remember who kind of like the core OGs were. So without getting too sappy, Ray, thank you, man. Really, really appreciate it. And your guys' support for this channel is just absolutely incredible. So that's what motivates me. Seriously. There's so many days, right, where I was like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do a live stream right now. But your guys' appreciation for the channel is just through the roof. And that's why I love doing it so much. Thank you, Murdoch, man. Thank you. I love you, Murdoch. Yeah, Linda, you gotta tell Linda. I don't know if you talk with Rector, but you gotta tell Rector to stop ghosting me. I've hit him up multiple times now to get him on a YouTube live stream, and he's been running away. I'm obviously kidding. I hit Zach up at like this time of night, 3 minutes before I want to go live, and I'm like, hey Zach, get on YouTube right now. We're doing a live stream, and he's like, Mikkel, I have a family, right? I can't jump on a live stream right now. So, I would love to do a live stream with Zach eventually. We just have a little bit. We have two. Our lives are a little different at the point we're at, so I don't quite give Zach the preparation he needs to get on here with me. XRP reason XRP could hit $10 if Ripple wins the SEC lawsuit. Well, just speculation. If Ripple beats the SEC in court, I mean, I just think there's going to be massive adoption of XRP from big financial institutions. Take a look at how CNBC was pumping XRP in 2018. The CNBC is all over XRP, guys. Like, you guys have no idea what it's going to be like when Ripple IPOs. There's an XRP ETF. Wall Street is foaming at the mouth about the Ripple IPO and the XRP ETF. I mean, it's going to be a total. Is it going to be a speculative frenzy like that? It's going to blow people's mind, and all the XRP haters are going to be XRP lovers, and the Rand Nooners are going to be pumping XRP when it's $15. Like, that's just how I see things playing out, right? Obviously, no one can predict the future, but that's the bet I'm taking. And yeah, I just think, look, it's going to put XRP to prices that a lot of people, I don't think are really ready for, but we got to get to that point, right? We got to keep making progress. I'm sure we'll get there. Do I think the Ripple stablecoin will kill USDT? No, absolutely not. I don't think Ripple stablecoin will kill USDT because they're really looking to do different things. The people using USDT for the large part aren't going to be using Ripple stablecoin. Why not? Because most of the people using USDT are doing so for reasons that are because they don't want to use USDC. If you're using USDT, you're likely using it because you don't want people to be able to see your transactions, or you want to be able to do it without some kind of regulatory tie back to the United States, right? Most of the people using it, not everyone, but a lot of people are using it to essentially really dodge the system, right? Really dodge the centralized system. That's going to happen even if Ripple has a stablecoin, right? There's always going to be people who have nefarious reasons to use a stablecoin. I think Tether is going to eat that volume. It's going to be like it's going to be like the dark web. You're always going to have a dark web, but is the dark web competition for Google? Not really, because Google's the opposite of the dark web. Google is the light web. Google is the interface people go to when they just want to get what they want to see, right? Or what most people need. And I think we're going to see that same thing with Ripple stablecoin. It's going to be used by institutions that want a reputable issuer. It's going to be used by institutions who understand that every single transaction they make is going to be under the scrutiny of a regulator, and they need to be as compliant as possible. So two completely different use cases for the stable coins. Yes, I do think Ripple stablecoin is going to take business away from Tether as regulated institutions build up regulatory framework. So you are 100% right. I just want to create a clear contrast between the two. When the U.S. turns its regulatory network online, you're going to see most of the volume, I believe, go to things like USDC and Ripple stablecoin. So it's a great question. I really like that one. And I think it gave me a good opportunity to highlight that despite the fact that Tether is not going to be likely a stable coin that dominates the regulated financial system, it still very much can dominate the unregulated financial system. Guys, we got 784 people in here. Would really, really appreciate everyone dropping a like on the stream. It helps way more than you'd think, especially those people on YouTube. I don't know how much of a difference it makes on X, but if you're on YouTube, I would really appreciate dropping a like on the stream. If you're in mobile, I'm pretty sure it's the upper right-hand corner. And if you're not, if you're just on your browser, I think it's pretty obvious how to do it. Crypto Mountain, man, no problem. And just so you guys know, if I'm ever answering your question and go on like a long rant about something your question didn't even involve, it's not me lecturing you, right? Like it's just me trying to make some points that are going to be helpful to other viewers out there. So I never want people to feel like I'm like digging into them with me answering some of their questions and going on a long rant. But to be honest, like it doesn't matter what I say. If you just make me rant for like 3 to 4 minutes about any given topic, it means your question was outstanding. So just understand that, right? It's not me singling anyone out or trying to like lecture you because I don't think you understood it. It's really me trying to take the question back to its roots, break it down for someone who might not know the entire situation, and pull it all back together. So I Crypto Mountain Man, awesome. I knew you did, man. I could tell you did, but you always like to cover all your bases. You know, when you're talking to 794 people, you want to make sure everyone's up to speed. And some people are joining the stream for the first time, haven't seen me before, don't know my personality. So I just like to keep everyone up to speed. But I appreciate you guys, like always understanding what's good. It's awesome that I never have to really explain myself. STM Surge, late night stream ready for my insomnia. Yeah, I have the opposite of insomnia, honestly. I sleep like a brick. I sleep like a brick, but I'm glad I can help with your insomnia. Yeah, Crypto, great question, man. And keep them coming. There's nothing I love more than great questions in the chat. Yeah, Daniel. Daniel, I don't want to talk myself out of being in a pretty good position, but I don't know if I believe the X numbers, to be completely honest with you. I don't know if I believe the X numbers. Do me a favor, right? If you're on X and you're watching this, just drop a comment, because rolling across my screen now is all YouTube comments, and I just don't believe the X numbers. They seem so fake to me. I watch people stream on X who don't really even have big followings, who will put up live streams of hundreds of thousands of people in them on X, and it just seems so fake. So I'm not gonna lie, I think there are people, I see comments flowing from people from X. Oh, crypto ear. Oh, that's not something you expect when you ask for a comment and you see Crypto Eddie jumping into the chat instantaneously. That's absolutely awesome to see. I hope you're having a great, what is it, morning or afternoon in Japan. Absolutely awesome to see you in the chat, and we love having you here. The one thing X is missing right now is live stream. Well, I'm live streaming on X right now, so it's there. I just don't believe the numbers. Watching on XN, awesome. I know the comment feature is a little more hidden on X. I don't know if I believe the numbers. Awesome to see Eddie here from X, though. That's always a great compliment. Anyone see Jamie Dimon just sell $32 million of his own stock? Is this true? Yeah, Dakota, but don't fall into the habit of watching CEOs sell stock. CEOs constantly sell stock, like throughout the entire company's livelihood. Espo, what up, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. CEOs constantly sell stock throughout their entire tenure at a company. So just don't fall into a trap of trying to time market events off CEOs selling stock. A lot of people think that these people are in the know, but David Schwartz has said that he sold Ethereum right before it went parabolic. If you look at Elon Musk selling Tesla, he sold Tesla before it went on a massive run. Mark Zuckerberg was unloading stock the other year at the bottom of Facebook. Look, CEOs are always selling stock. So sometimes it works out that it just so happens after they sell the stock, there's a dip. But if you know anything about insider trading laws in the United States, they're extremely harsh, and you're actually way better off as a CEO just not even remotely trying to time the market, because if you break an insider trading law, then you could be looking at a fine that's triple what you had to pay. So I'm not saying that these CEOs don't get away with it and all this stuff, and I'm not saying they don't try to time the market. I'm sure some of them do. I don't want anyone to fall into a trap of creating investment decisions based off what a CEO might be doing. Thanks, Supreme. That was the first time diamond ever sold in 17 years. All right, well, that's fair. I'll give you that. If that was the first time you sold in 17 years, Dank Supreme, we can say that's a little interesting. I would still be careful of it, and I don't even know if the information is true, but that definitely adds a little bit of a kick to it. Geez, XRP, thanks for doing a live where I can watch it, Mikkel. Oh, no problem. I like to do a late night once in a while because you get new people on. So you're better off following senators and what they're buying. Galicia, I agree with you there. Senators and congressmen availed themselves of the insider trading laws. Funny enough, it's insider trading is illegal for everyone unless you're a senator or congressman. Then it's legal. So the U.S. political system, one drop equals $1. That would be crazy. That would be wild. If one dropped equaled $1, man. I think I like the YouTube chat better. Oh, Daniel. Whoa, I just threw my phone. Oh no. Oh no. All right, we're good. I like almost rug my stream every single time I go live. It's hilarious. Just literally almost always rug my stream. Daniel, send me a message on X. I don't know if I follow you. I always think, I was like, is Daniel even on X? Daniel, shoot me a DM right now, because unless I follow you and you just don't send posts on X a lot, I don't think I'm following you, and I need to follow you. Maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe I've just been following you this entire time and I'm just dumb. Can you differentiate between XRP, XLM, and XDC? David Rich, that is a fantastic question. All right. Look, there is a lot of things if we want to get into technicals on the difference between XRP, XLM, and XDC. And honestly, I don't even know if I could properly explain the in-depth intricacies of all of them. As I see it, XRP is really being positioned more as a liquidity asset. I see XRP having its base utility of being a fee for the XRP ledger blockchain, but I really think XRP is trying to be positioned in the world as just decentralized neutral liquidity, essentially a liquid asset that anything can be pegged to. That's really how I see XRP's biggest use case as it's positioned in the traditional financial world. And on a more micro scale, the XRP ledger itself seems to be getting a lot of retail adoption. Now, for a long time, there was a narrative that XLM was for retail. Funny enough, XLM is getting a lot of real world assets on it. I think XLM is leading the real world asset race. So XLM has the most real world assets. I don't see a lot of retail development on XLM. I do see some projects on XLM. There is development there. There's not a big XLM community I've seen. XDC has an average size community. XDC has smart contracts, and it seems more of like a trade finance engine where you kind of have multiple different contracts executing at once, derivatives and stuff like that. It almost reminds me of more of a financial computing platform than necessarily the token itself being the highlight. It's more like XDC is a network, is the gas for the network, and it doesn't necessarily have that same liquidity draw to it as something like XRP. Because I want to make one thing clear, like cryptocurrency networks have a lot of different technicals, but the tokens are just native liquidity pieces for that network. What Ripple's done is Ripple's kind of pitched XRP as its own utility outside the XRP ledger network, just using the token. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at any of these assets, but technically Ripple could run most of their business using a digital asset like Doge if they really wanted to. It'd be less efficient, it'd be slower, it'd have security issues. But like, there's nothing about Ripple's products where Doge wouldn't be compliant as being liquidity. Any cryptocurrency can be used as liquidity. That's where I think Ripple is special, because Ripple pitches XRP as liquidity to financial institutions and has the professionals to get them in the room. Yo, Espo says, yo, what do you think about my next bet over or under $7 for XRP by the end of 2024? Espo, I'm done betting you. I'm not losing any more of my XRP. No, I look, Look, Asmo, if the Ripple SEC case ended and XRP wasn't pushing those numbers in a bull run, then I think we'd have big problems at hand. But look, I'm going to remain confident. I'm going to remain confident that the Ripple SEC case is going to end. We're going to have a lot of volatility coming into XRP. The case isn't going to get appealed, and XRP is going to be outperforming a large portion of the cryptocurrency market. I would hope that gets us past the $10 mark going into 2025, but I'm not going to be betting on prices. I'm not going to be betting on prices. Espo, I would have ignored that question too if it wasn't you. The only reason I answered that was because it's you. So that's the most you're going to get. ETHgate must be exposed to clean up the crypto space. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but like most people just don't care. Sorry, let me take that back. Not most people don't care. Everyone in the XRP community cares, but a lot of other cryptocurrency communities just want to ignore it. So we'll see which thought process prevails. How you're a GSFO. We definitely got it. We definitely got a link sometime. We definitely got a link. Silver Day says support the channel, like and subscribe. Yes, for sure, guys. Really appreciate support for the channel. Simply liking the stream is it's I appreciate that so much. It does so much more than you can imagine. So Donk Supreme, you follow CRISPR, IBM, and AI governance seems promising. No, I don't follow it too closely. I know about it, but look, I tell this to people all the time. There's so many tokens out there. You just got to pick a core group that you feel confident in and then ride with it. You can be spreading yourself into all these different projects. And look, I'm not saying you're doing that. It's just I'm saying for myself, I really kind of have my core portfolio built out and I feel very confident in everything in it. I would have to see something very, very new and interesting for me to really get behind something. The last thing I saw was Flare that I really got excited about. One of the things in crypto I always tell people is like you got to be picky, right? You got to make these projects sell you. When I see a project, like I'll give it months before I move into it. Like I want to see it. I want to see the community. I want to see what's going on there. I want to be wowed by what's going on. And once you have a portfolio built up, you can kind of get picky like that. When you're first building it, I understand you kind of want to spread around, get diversified. But once you start narrowing your portfolio into things you're really confident on, look, I agree that CRISPR's probably got a lot of things going on, but it's just not something that I've made it to looking at yet. Maybe one day I do. But just right now, I'm more focused on most of the things going on around the XRP ledger. Just to be completely transparent with you guys, the application I find most promising for cryptocurrencies is the financial sector. I really do think cryptocurrencies become new rails for the financial system. And that's where I'm mainly focused. Now, there's cryptocurrency projects doing stuff with AI, data, all this different stuff. And I do allocate some resources to those. But the thing I'm really focused on is the financial application. Awesome, Donk. Awesome. Appreciate you understanding that, man. And yeah, it's a complex. There's so much different stuff out there, and if you try to be an expert in everything, you just get lost. I don't think it's any secret, right, that I'm not someone who's here investing necessarily for the technicals of blockchain. I'm an investor at heart, and I'm really here for portfolio construction and how to outperform markets. Now, that doesn't mean as an engineer, I don't nerd out on some of the tech and like to get into it and get excited how it's going to get that adoption via its utility. But for me, a large portion of it is the investment thesis. Espo, love the question. What do I think about Flare and Songbird? I don't really invest in Songbird because Songbird is a testnet, and for me, right, it's like Espo. It's like, look, if you gave me a video game and you said you can either play the alpha version or the beta version, I'm going to pick the alpha version. Like, there might be advantages of getting the beta version. I'd just rather have the alpha version for anything. So whether it's Songbird or Flare, I'm going to pick Flare. I love what Flare is doing. There's not a single good bridging protocol out there. Most bridging protocols get hacked. Most bridging protocols are very centralized. The Flare protocol is creating a bridge using the Flare token as collateral. So if you get hacked, then you get paid out in Flare token to make up for the hack. If your assets get lost via the bridge, you get paid out in Flare token. So it's a trustless form of bridging assets from one blockchain to another. It's really cool that they use Flare as collateral for it, and that's what I get excited about. There's 1,000 other bridges out there that all bridge doing the same thing. Essentially, someone holds your assets, and then someone gives you new assets. But then the problem is, if the person holding your assets loses those assets, then you're effed. In the Flare network, then if that person loses your assets, then you get paid out in the collateral, which is the Flare token, and that's really unique. So I get excited about what Flare's doing. I think they're doing things in a very, very interesting way. Is it true that anything added to Flare gets added to Songbird first? It's sort of, yeah. Espo, yeah, sort of. But it's also important to understand that, look, Songbird's a testing ground. So if someone, so here, if I wanted to play around with a new feature coming to Songbird, which I probably wouldn't, I'll just let other people do it. But if I wanted to, and say I had 10,000 XRP to play around with the bridges we were talking about, I might test $30 on Songbird, and then when it goes live on Flare and when I know everything works, test it with the rest of my value on Flare. So everything does happen on Songbird first, but you're not going to see the same, even close to the same amount of money going to Songbird than Flare, because Flare's production. Songbird is just saying, okay, these things work and nothing's breaking. Now it's a smaller market cap, so you need less money to move it. It's complicated. It goes back and forth. For the most part, yes. For the most part, yes. Without getting too much into it. What do you think, Swift? What do I think of Swift USD? Eric, I don't know what that is, man. I'm sorry. I don't. Hey, yeah, I don't know what Swift USD is. If you could explain more, maybe I could pull something. What are your top 3 cryptos? I don't really get into the top 3. My number 1 is XRP. My number 1 is XRP. If I was to throw another 2 out there, maybe Quant, but my number 1 is XRP. Awesome, Espo. I'm glad you got that. Galicio makes a good point, Espo. You also get monthly airdrops. You get a lot of Flare just for holding Flare, and just to give you a scale, I was projected to 5x my Flare bag over the course of holding it for the next 6 years. So that gives you a good idea of how much Flare you get just for holding Flare. Now, there's some debate out there. Is that going to do bad things for the token over the long run? I don't think so. Some people might say yes. We'll just have to wait and see. But there are a lot of Flare airdrops happening to get a lot of Flare. Now that makes Flare an inflationary cryptocurrency. So not all inflation is bad, right? Everyone loves inflation when the token's going up. No one has a problem with it. But everyone hates inflation if the token's not going up. So just remember that, right? Would it be possible for Ripple to use the escrow to create liquidity pools for CBDCs as they're issued by matching the other side? Les, that's fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, 100%. If Bank of America wanted to put $100 million on the XRP ledger and Ripple wanted to back that with XRP via an automated market maker pool, I don't see why that wouldn't be possible, especially if they work together to create the liquidity pool. Now, is that something in the works right now? Who in the world knows? Maybe I'm more overly optimistic, but I certainly think that's a possibility. And honestly, that's something I've been grappling with over the past couple weeks. So you kind of just closed the you made the circuit connect right there for me. So thank you for that. I think you're on the money. Ripple's got the XRP. The institutions have the dollars. You combine the dollars with the XRP, and you create a deep automated market maker pool with 2 big institutions. Grass, thank you. Is Coinbase ever going to pay out Songbird? Who knows? Hopefully, but Look, I hope everyone gets their songbird, but just use it as a lesson. I don't mean to be a jerk. I understand money is good for everyone, but that songbird airdrop was worth pennies, especially now. So I don't know how much like people are going to go through all their effort to get it back. It's going to end up being like $10. So maybe I'm wrong on that too. I'm just doing some back of the napkin calculations. If you had enough XRP, maybe it was significant, but I don't know. Saif, been watching your channel for a while now. Thank you for the daily updates. Bags are filled and ready to go. XRP, XLM, SHIB, HBAR, Crow. Awesome, 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 man. Super glad you're a fan of the channel. Really, really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Gotcha. It's just principles like ETHgate. Yeah, ETHgate's principles based. ETHgate is principle based for sure. Guys, we're putting up good numbers right now. Putting up really good numbers. If you're over on YouTube, make sure to like the stream. YouTube numbers. YouTube is always a little weird with how the stream gets promoted. The only way to promote the stream is if I make you guys like the stream, and I constantly remind you to do it, unfortunately. So I would really appreciate any help there. Dirtnap, what are your thoughts on Axeler? Look, Dirtnap, this is one of those things where I just wish I had more for you, to be completely honest with you. I like Axeler a lot. It's hard for me to tell how it's going to. I just don't have the information there to give you as much as I would like to. What I understand is it's going to help bring more assets to the XRP ledger. It's essentially going to create some kind of bridge to the XRP ledger. So I think Flare is almost a bridge for XRP to another ecosystem, and Axeler is a bridge from other ecosystems to the XRP ledger. But that is something where, outside of what I just told you, I haven't really built a big investment thesis around it. Good question, though. Good question. Axeler is kind of a sneaky one. Funny enough, it was actually created. It was actually created by a former Ripple member. So super cool to see that it was actually created by a former Ripple member. Mike said 2 both on X and YouTube. Crazy. Thoughts on BRICS and XRP? There's no doubt that Ripple's working with a lot of the BRICS nations, and I think the BRICS nations are just willing to work with anything outside of SWIFT right now because SWIFT has been weaponized against them. Look, if institutions are using Ripple, I think they're going to use XRP. Ed, I don't know if there's anything cemented in place. What we know is large banks in Russia have used XRP. What we know is India has used XRP. What we know is that Brazil has worked with Ripple. So there's a lot of connections between the BRICS nations and Ripple and XRP. I would speculate that there's going to be some usage in that system, but I think a lot of people go overboard and say the BRICS nations are only going to be using XRP, right? They're going to be using a lot of different things, but that's the thing I think people need to understand. In order for XRP to get mass adoption, it doesn't have to be the only system. It just needs to be one. And I really believe XRP is powerful enough to kind of take over as one of the best systems over the long term. But it would be absolutely insane if an entire country said, okay, we're going to do all our business on the XRP ledger, right? Maybe one day that could happen, but they're going to have to scale into it. I like how Daniel's just bouncing back and forth between the X stream and the YouTube stream. I never know where Daniel's going to comment from. Daniel, I'm making sure I'm following you right now. Everyone go give Daniel a follow if you're seeing his X channel right there. Yeah. Hi. I don't know how I wasn't following you, Daniel. All right, there we go. That had to get fixed. I've been looking for you on X. But you know what's so dumb about X? You can type in someone's like exact name and they won't show up in the search function. So it's so hard, especially if you have like a lot of people following you like me. Like it's so hard to keep up with who's saying what and who's retweeting your stuff because my screen is just filled with notifications. So Let's play. Can I guess your name? Well, I'm not going to tell you if you guess it. Let's see what else we got. Any other questions? Any other questions? Love the questions. The questions are what make these live streams so much fun. So never feel like you're asking a dumb question. Even if you ask a question that I don't even like, even if you ask like a controversial question, it challenges me a little bit. Cypher, this is a great question. People think XRP will jump to $100 overnight. Will be a gradual increase or a rapid one? That's a great question. And Cypher, you know, we weren't going to do this tonight, but we're going to whip out an XRP price chart for you. So great question. You made me change the screen, which I love. So let me pull this up, and you know, to be completely transparent with you, Cypher, I'm not going to answer your question, right? I'm not. I'm going to let you answer your own question here, because it's a definitional question. It's a definitional question. So let's break this out. I'm getting everything up and running behind the scenes right now. If you could just bear with me for a second, we will have Cypher's chart up, and we'll answer the question: is XRP going to move in a slow movement or a parabolic movement? Once I find the price chart I'm looking for. Okay. Move the screen over. And here we go. All right, so the question we're answering here is whether or not XRP, if it went to $100, right, would move in a slow or fast manner. So right here we have XRP at half a penny. So right now, to make our math easy, right, to make our math easy, let's pretend right now XRP is trading at $1 and we're trying to go from $1 to $100. So that's the equivalent of right now, right? We're looking at XRP in 2014 to 2017 trading at half a penny. So XRP going from half a penny to 50 cents is the equivalent of XRP going from $1 to $100. So don't overthink it. What I'm just trying to say is that what we're about to look at on this price chart is the same exact thing as XRP going to $100. So this is XRP back in 2014 to 20. Sorry, let me get this comment off the screen real quick because it's kind of blocking the lower half. Oh man, I wish I knew how to do that. Oh, hide current comment. There we go. We're going places. T-Bone said, big fan of yours recently, Mikkel. Keep crushing it with the content. Thank you for coming, man. All right, so here we go, right? This is the XRP price chart. 2014 to 2017, XRP trading at 50 cents, half a penny. If XRP gets to 50 cents, it's the same thing as XRP going from $1 to $100. Not really, but just stick with me for the example. Tell me what you think this price movement is right here that we're going through. And I'm just going to keep going up. Oh, we get to some red candles. And we keep going up. And we keep going up. Oh. And then boom. We're at 50 cents. Now, that move you just watched was the equivalent of XRP going to $100, and it essentially was a move. The first one that was over the course of 53 days. So what I'm trying to show you here is, I don't know if you call that overnight, right? Is 53 days overnight? For me, right, that's overnight. Is XRP literally going to make that move in a single candle? I don't think so. But if we can't underscore how parabolic, right, this is. Like, when you look at these candles, I mean, these candles are just ripping upwards. It's not like Bitcoin. And in the traditional financial system, Bitcoin is already seen as ultra volatile. So I would consider this movement right here for lack of a better term, overnight. Is that technically overnight? No, as we talked about, this is the course of 60 days. But that's an overnight movement, right? In the grand scheme of things, that's overnight. So is XRP going to go to $100 overnight? If you're actually talking overnight, no, probably not. If you're talking, over the course of a very short time period compared to the movement of normal assets in the world, yes, you could call that overnight. So it's one of those things where I think people hyper focus on like, oh, what does overnight mean? It's like, look, it just means in a short period of time. If you're actually telling me that you think you're going to wake up one morning and XRP is going to be hundreds of dollars higher, I would say probably we've never seen anything close to that before. Is it possible? Maybe in some reality. Is it possible that XRP does that $100 over the course of 100 days? I would say absolutely. That is absolutely possible. And we've seen it before in the past on XRP's price chart. So it's not even out of like something that has never happened before. It's certainly possible. Are we in that environment at the moment? Absolutely not. So I think a lot of people are overly bearish. A lot of people are overly optimistic. And a lot of people really are mostly there with what they think could happen. But yeah, what a relief would be within a few months overnight. Yeah, I'm glad you understand that, Cypher. It takes some nuance, right? A lot of people, I think, get a little bit too into the weeds of that question. But I really appreciate it because it brings up some good points. Hey, Mikkel, have you heard any more on the SEC and ETH case since hearing about Uni and the SEC? What are your thoughts? One moment. Hey, Mikkel, have you heard any more on the SEC and ETH case since hearing that Uni and the SEC? About Uni and the SEC, what are your thoughts? No, I haven't heard anything more about the ETH case. If anything happens there, I'll make a video on it. So, part of my channel. Sorry for that. And I know, like, it's very possible you just could have missed a video. So I try to filter out the stuff that I don't think is really important from the stuff that's important for you guys. I think there's a lot of interesting things that happen on X that aren't necessarily critical yet. X is a place where a lot of people find a lot of pieces that aren't necessarily pieced together. So there's been a lot of interesting developments on X that I don't think have really been material changes in the grand perspective yet. All right, guys, I'm going to shut it down because I'm absolutely exhausted. Thank you guys for joining me. This is a fun video. You guys brought some absolutely amazing questions. I know I will see most of you tomorrow on the afternoon live stream. So, guys, thank you so much for coming. I'll talk to you later. And for now, Mikkel out.